Hey guys, Pro1701 here, and today we're going to be talking about the top 4 Matt Smith episodes that I think are overrated. Just at the moment. Again, this is one of those lists that it kind of changes depending on my mood, although 3 of these 4 are pretty much permanently on the list. One of them is actually a really good episode. I think just a little overrated. The other 3 are pretty terrible. The 4th one on the list, and the one that I actually do really like, is Day of the Doctor. Day of the Doctor is a really good episode. It's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of moments in it. It's got a couple of my favorite Doctor Who moments ever in it. But there are these people that seem to think it's like the best Doctor Who episode ever. Like I see that, and even in polls, like the greatest episode of Doctor Who is Day of the Doctor. Anytime somebody tells me that Day of the Doctor is like the greatest Doctor Who episode ever, my first thought is, you need to watch more Doctor Who episodes. Day of the Doctor isn't even the best Doctor Who multi-Doctor story, much less the best episode ever. But it is really good. It's a lot of fun. Matt Smith and David Tennant have really good chemistry together. It's nice to see John Hurt as the Doctor. I can't believe we got that. But again, it's certainly not perfect. It's good. It's really good. It does not do its job, I think, of celebrating 50 years of Doctor Who, since it really does seem to celebrate the modern series a lot more than the classic series. And I do think, like the 3 Doctors and the 5 Doctors are both better stories, personally. But it's still a really good story. Just a little overrated. The other 3 on the list are bad. At number 3 is Amy's Choice. I don't care for this episode. It's boring. I like, what's his name? Toby? The guy who plays Zola. The guy who plays the Dream Lord in this episode. I like him. He's a really good actor. I like him as Zola in the MCU stuff. He's really, really good here. The revelation about who he actually is, and the fact that Matt pretty much knew all along who he was. I know who you are. There's only one person who would hate me that much. I love that. Really good insight into what Matt thinks of himself, at least at times. It has some good stuff in it, but the whole, well, which reality is real and which one is fake? I remember watching it and thinking, I don't care. This is boring. Oh, the old people have stuff in their mouth, their eyeballs. Okay. I mean, it does a lot to help build Rory and Amy's relationship. I will admit that, but I don't find it interesting. I find it boring. It doesn't do much for me. Number 2 on the list is the God Complex, and I do believe this one made my list of top 10 Doctor Who episodes that I will never rewatch. God Complex is interesting because it's a complete and utter shit script that's executed really well. Like, the actual directing of this story is great. The camera work is done really well. It creates a sense of things being off. It's a good use of lighting and camera angles. It creates tension. The music in it is good. The actors in it are all good. It's just the script is shit. It's literally the anti-Power of Kroll. It's the exact opposite of Power of Kroll. Power of Kroll has, on paper, a good script. I actually don't mind the script Power of Kroll. It's a Robert Holmes script, after all, and he is the Doctor Who writer to go to. But the execution of Power of Kroll was just abysmal. It's my least favorite Tom Baker story, and probably the only Tom Baker story I will never rewatch again. The execution was so bad. God Complex is the opposite. Really good execution. Like the directing. Script is crap, boring, stupid, doesn't make sense. Don't care for it. It's one of those things, like, right after I watch it, I'm like, okay. But if you asked me to explain it to you now, I'd be like, well, so the Minotaur basically replaces your faith with wanting to praise him, and then he kills you. Why does it do that? I don't know. It's not interesting. It's stupid. It's stupid. And of course, number 1 on the list is Vincent and the Doctor, and I'm not going to really go into that simply because I did a video about that. To break it down simply, I hate Vincent and the Doctor. It has some objective flaws and subjective flaws in it. Has some good stuff in it. It is a watchable episode. It is definitely rewatchable. I do go back and rewatch it every blue moon. To keep it really short, hated the fact that the creature killing everybody was basically a giant rooster, because I really hate in Doctor Who when the aliens just turn out to be Earth animals, but bigger and more dangerous. It's so cheap and unoriginal. and uninspired that I think it's stupid. The Jadoon get a pass because the Jadoon are awesome, but other than that, I think it's stupid. I don't like that they feel sympathy for the thing at the end. You know, it doesn't make any sense. Why would you feel sympathy? It was just doing what it was supposed to do. That's what the Daleks do. The Daleks do what they're supposed to do. I don't feel sympathy for them. And then, of course, I really hate the ending scene when the Doctor goes to the future. That when the Doctor takes Vincent to the future and shows him how famous he is, it's so stupid and self-indulgent. And as I said in my review, the closest I've ever seen Doctor Who come to masturbation. It's so eye-rolling and jumping the shark. It just makes me so mad. And then you take into the account the fact that the last time we see Vincent at the season finale, he's upset because he paints a picture of the TARDIS exploding. And I don't know if the Doctor ever went back in time to tell him he was okay. Because Matt Smith's Doctor does have this habit of not cleaning up his messes. So he might have just forgot to pop back and say, "It's okay, Vincent, I'm good." And Vincent might have been so distraught, he might, I don't know, kill himself or something. So Matt Smith's Doctor might be partly responsible for Vincent's death. So, it does have some good stuff, though. I like the scene about that speech about the good pile of things and the bad pile of things. Really good speech, beautiful, and really applicable to real life. I really enjoy that. And the relationship between Vincent and Amy, especially since Amy doesn't remember Rory right now, so they do have a very special bond that maybe in a parallel universe they could have even ended up together. That's pretty nice and touching. But yeah, those are mainly the main four I can think of, at least at the moment. I went and looked over all of them in the steelbooks to see if I was missing anything that I just personally find overrated. Not necessarily bad, but I definitely don't think they deserve the reputation they have. So what do you think? What are your top 3 or 4 Matt Smith stories that you don't necessarily think are bad, but just think are overrated and get more attention than they should? Again, Day of the Doctor is a good example. Great story. Not best Doctor Who story ever made. Period. So comment down below. I always enjoy interacting with you guys. I'm curious to hear what you think of my list as well. Other things to do, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications. I've started a Patreon page. If you would like to contribute to that, you'll find a link to that down below. Most importantly, though, stay safe out there, and thank you for watching.